What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Azkhalon, and welcome back to another College Football 26 video. In this video, I'm going to rank the 5 Road to Glory positions in College Football 26. I'm going to tell you what I like and dislike, mostly dislike, about each position. So let's go ahead and get into the video. Let's go. First off, this video is my opinion, my personal preference for Road to Glory positions. So it's cool if you disagree. Your experience may be totally different from mine. If you do drop a comment below expressing your disagreement, please be respectful. This is a fun topic that I would love to discuss with you in the comments. So I'm one of those weirdos because I know, a good amount of people, they prefer Dynasty. They may not care about Road to Glory, but I'm one of those weirdos that do. I do enjoy this game mode. I've been getting more and more into Dynasty this year, so I'm really enjoying that. But I like Road to Glory because I like creating stories about has-been athletes or athletes that didn't quite make it to the collegiate level, or fictional characters, and having them go through and then go over to Madden into the NFL after their college career. So I enjoy doing stuff like that with Road to Glory. So I do enjoy this game mode, but of course, there are some things that really drive me crazy, and I'll probably do a Road to Glory video in the future where I talk about some of the things that I dislike with Road to Glory. But let's go ahead and get into the ranking. I just wanted to let you guys know that I do enjoy Road to Glory, but I'm probably going to say a few negative things about some of the positions. So number 5 is cornerback. Cornerback, in my opinion, is the worst position in Road to Glory, which is kind of weird because I got used to playing corner last year with the camera angle behind the defense, because I prefer my camera angle behind the defense in Road to Glory. But it took me a moment to get used to it. And then I really had fun with the cornerback position when I exported over to Madden, because the behind the defense camera angle is perfect in Madden. I wish they would match the camera angles in college football in Madden. Like, that drives me crazy for Road to Glory and Superstar mode. Like, that way you can get used to camera angles in Road to Glory, and then when you export your character over to Madden, it's the same camera angles. You don't have to readjust. Like, I just don't understand that. The camera angles in this year's game for corner, they all suck. So you have one camera angle that's from the offensive perspective, but as you can see, you can't really see anything before the snap in that particular camera angle. Like, that makes no sense to me. I have to zoom out some before the snap just to see myself at corner when the receiver is lined up wide. Like, I just don't understand that. Let's look at that again so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Okay, I can kind of see myself here because the receiver is not as wide here. But sometimes with this camera angle, you can't see anything. And then there are 2 camera angles behind the defense. So there's this new one that's on the side. This one is probably the best camera position in my opinion. But there are times too where you can't see things in this particular camera angle. So like right here, my receiver's out wide. I can't see him at all before the snap. I have to zoom out some just to see him. And playing man coverage is important in case he does something like that, like go inside. So again, that's the best angle, but it still is not that good. And then the last one is the one that's right behind your player. This is the camera angle that they had behind the defense last year. Somehow I got used to it. But this year, like, I'm struggling to get used to this camera because it's so zoomed in. You can't see what's happening, around the quarterback for the most part, or on the other side of the field without, again, zooming out. And see, I couldn't see because it's so tight. I couldn't see that running back there, and I took a bad angle and I didn't get the tackle right there. So the camera angles just suck so badly for the cornerback position. Like, I wish they would fix these. Like, the Madden camera behind the defense, like I said earlier, is perfection. It's angled nicely, and you can see everything that you need to see. So they changed all of the archetypes except for one. They still have the zone cornerback archetype in this year's game. And the new archetypes, field corner, bump and run, boundary corner, they're all cool and all, but I feel like they might be confusing for some gamers. I wish they had just kept it at zone, man, and slot for your different cornerback archetypes, but I do like that this year that they combine some of the previous archetypes into one, so you can make your athlete more versatile. So you really have to pay attention to the physical abilities if you're unsure what a boundary corner is, and just look at the physical abilities and see if that's something, those abilities are the ones that you really want for your corner. The moments in high school for a corner are a little bit repetitive, so that's one thing I kind of don't like either. And some are unclear. Like one time I had a moment where I had to get a tackle while in man coverage. And so during the last play of that moment, I picked a man coverage play, but then I blitzed with my corner just so I could try to get in the backfield and get a tackle. I got a tackle, it didn't even count. We were in man coverage, so I don't know why me blitzing didn't cause it to count. So it's crap like that make me not care for the cornerback position as much as any of the other ones. As long as you can put yourself in positions to like make tackles though, while in high school during those moments, I feel like corner is one of the easiest positions to move up in tape score and star rating, because the opposing team's offense until about the 4th or 5th game, they're really not that good. I also hate how you're blamed for everything on defense. They did patch that to make it better, but still, it's like everything your teammates do affects you. And I don't understand the logic behind that. Like, who at EA came up with the bright idea to have your teammates affect your own personal coach grade when playing defense in Road to Glory, when that doesn't happen when you're playing offense? Like, that doesn't make sense. I can't make every tackle. Why am I losing points whenever the opposing team gains any yards? Like, that's not fair. I wish they would get rid of that, because on offense, you don't get affected by stuff like that your teammates do. If you're trying to play corner in Road to Glory, my advice is to play on All-American at least if you want some action on the field. You might could start with varsity if this is your first time ever playing corner, just so you can get a feel for it. But I wouldn't play on freshman or varsity too much. Depending on what team you're on, your team will probably suck if you start off playing on All-American. But if you want a chance to get in on some action, All-American difficulty is the way to go. The game is already bad enough about not running the ball your way or throwing to your side of the field most of the game. But even if you're starting out trying to get a feel for the position, you won't see much action at all on freshman or varsity difficulty. Now, I know a corner in real life doesn't usually get a whole lot of tackles, but in this game, they will either constantly run or pass away from you, even while baiting the quarterback on freshman or varsity difficulties. Like on freshman difficulty, I could legit run to the other side of the field sometimes and the quarterback still won't throw to the man that I was guarding or where I'm supposed to be in zone coverage. Or your teammates will sack the quarterback or tackle the ball carrier quickly before you even have a chance to get there. So play on All-American difficulty or higher, definitely. Number 4 is wide receiver. I want to love the zoomed in camera angle, but it's hard to see certain things. And I've caused a few picks by calling for the ball when I thought I was open using this camera angle. I prefer the next zoomed out camera a little bit more because it makes it easier to see things on the field. Your quarterback does make stupid throws from time to time, especially on slants if you're the go-to guy. I mean, he will thread the needle, and that's where most of my drops come from because I'll get hit and drop the ball even with high catching traffic. They've included the cool gadget archetype in Road to Glory this year, and if you don't know what a gadget archetype is, that's a wide receiver that's capable of playing different positions like running back, quarterback. So depending on different formations, you could put the gadget in the slot receiver position, as a halfback, as a quarterback. And so they're supposed to be a jack of all trades, but they messed that archetype up in Road to Glory. Like, you can't have certain physical abilities because you can't level up the quarterback attribute since you're a wide receiver. So like Dot, for example, I can't improve my deep accuracy. So I could never unlock that. I don't understand why that is one of the physical abilities for the gadget archetype. Same thing with extender. I have an 83 break sack somehow. I guess maybe upgrading some of my other abilities will improve those. I mean, maybe that's the thing that I got to do, but I haven't played around with this enough. But I was just like, when I saw Dot and extender, I was like if you look here, I don't have any quarterback attributes that I can level up. So I'm like, how in the world am I going to be able to get those abilities, especially to try to upgrade them to platinum? It is also unclear what attributes you need to level up in order to improve your gadget overall rating, because if you look at the depth chart, there is a gadget spot on the depth chart. And so since I'm a gadget archetype, I have a 94 overall for the gadget spot, but I don't know necessarily which attributes I leveled up that contributed to that. I've just been leveling on my athlete according to the type of receiver that I want him to be. You also have to pretty much max out coach trust in order to finally have control of the entire playbook to use yourself in different roles, because your coach will not utilize you as a gadget early on. So it just seems like a waste. Like, I'm in my sophomore year here with Georgia Tech. I don't have complete control of the playbook yet, and I have not once lined up as a halfback or in a wildcat formation. They have been putting me in the slot during my sophomore season, so I've been getting to do some jet sweeps and various things like that. But for the most part, I line up on the outside as a standard receiver. So they dropped the ball on that. They included this cool archetype, but you can't really make use of that archetype in Road to Glory until at least a certain point in your career. And I haven't gotten that far yet, but I've been reading online that until you get the full control of the playbook, the gadget archetype is pretty much useless in Road to Glory. The main reason why I put receiver at number 4 is that it can be either a boring position or an easy to cheese position depending on how you play it. If you run routes correctly based on what's selected, then it's boring sometimes because you won't have many targets unless you call for the ball, and you'll spend most of your time running routes or run blocking. But if you deviate from the correct route and call for the ball nearly every play, then it's easy to cheese the position as well and put up huge numbers even on higher difficulty settings. Number 3 is quarterback. This ideally should be the best position, and to most people it is. You essentially get the most control over the defense by playing quarterback, with some limitations, especially early on in your career. I really enjoy making pre-snap reads, adjusting my pass protection, calling audibles, hot routes, etc. when you finally get the chance to do those things. But the game really limits you early on. Like, you can't audible or call hot routes at first because it's tied to reaching a certain level of coach's trust. I understand that to a certain extent. A freshman quarterback in real life is not going to be allowed to be Peyton Manning right from the jump. I get that, but it still sucks because of the AI play calling. Your coach calls the worst plays in certain situations. Like, please stop wanting me to do a screenplay or draw on 3rd and long, bruh. I'm thankful that they added the more plays feature in this year's game, where you can unlock and earn more than just 3 suggested plays from your coach. But most of the time you still see the same plays, but at least you can have more than 3 to choose from, which can help mix things up a little bit more. The pass protection and run blocking can have issues sometimes, even if you make adjustments. It's frustrating when you put your teammates in positions to make plays and they don't, but that does happen in real life sometimes. Linemen miss blocking assignments from time to time, receivers drop passes. It's not game breaking per se, it's just frustrating, especially if you're on a team that's not very good. The quarterback position seems to be a little more inaccurate this year, but maybe that's just me. Sometimes leading a receiver with placement and accuracy doesn't work very well, even when I have pretty good accuracy ratings. And I know, multiple things can affect that, but it just seems like I'm just a little more inaccurate this year. And I've really noticed it more so whenever a receiver is running like a crossing route or dig, anything going across the field. It seems like the quarterbacks typically throw behind the receivers more often than not. I've seen the computer quarterbacks in Road to Glory while playing wide receiver be inaccurate as well. All of those things can be frustrating at times, but it's kind of cool because you understand what it must feel like to be a real life quarterback. But the main thing I hate about playing quarterback in Road to Glory, and this is the reason why it's not my number 1 position, is the AI logic of my running back teammates. They seem to never want to hit the holes that open up right in front of them. They run sideways way too much instead of getting up the field, and they juke or spin way too much sometimes unnecessarily. Playing defense in Road to Glory, I witnessed the opposing team's running back hitting the holes nicely. But when I'm playing offense in Road to Glory, my running back teammates act like they've never played the running back position before sometimes. Oh, that drives me crazy. Number 2 is running back. This is the best offensive position in my opinion. I feel like it is more balanced than wide receiver since you get to run the ball and catch passes and pass block. And I feel like it's less frustrating than quarterback because you don't have to worry about running backs and receivers not doing what they're supposed to. I've seen a good amount of people complaining about running the ball. You have to be patient and wait for your holes to open up, and you can't spam turbo like you could in the past, and I love that. But sometimes none of that matters because the defense can shed blocks like crazy, to where a lot of the times when you get the handoff, they're already on top of you and there's nothing you can do. I get that, but that happens in real life. Not every rushing play is going to go for 10 plus yards. Sometimes you're going to gain a yard or 2, sometimes 4 yards, and sometimes you're going to lose yards. Be patient, especially early on in your running back road to glory career. There are going to be games where running the ball will be a challenge, and there will be games where it seems like it is a lot easier to run the ball. When you unlock pass protections, it helps to ID the player on defense you feel is going to rock your world as the Mike. But until you can do that and audible, running back may not be as fun as you would think, especially if you're impatient. IDing the Mike though is a game changer. I typically ID the person who is most likely to be where I'm trying to run the ball, so my O-line can definitely pick him up. If you're into sliders, I would definitely play around with those if you still feel like the run blocking is not good enough. Remember how I said be patient earlier? A huge problem is that early on in your career, you're at the mercy of your coach. I do like that EA listened to fans about involving your road to glory athlete more in plays, and most of the play calling suggestions that you can pick involve you in some way. But the problem with that is that you don't need to run the ball nearly every play. And sometimes when the defense is stacking the box or you've been stuffed for a loss 2 out of the last 3 rushing attempts, you're forced to pick another run play because that's all that's available. And then you can't audible out of it. It makes it frustrating sometimes because the game's AI play calling is setting me up for failure when it thinks it's trying to help me. If you're going to play running back, my advice to you is to get that coach trust up as fast as you can so you have more control over the playbook. That means doing practices and picking those drills that you can get a gold in. I like that in Road to Glory, the coach calls the plays for the most part, but man, EA needs to step up the AI play calling and stop giving us the same few plays over and over again when our playbooks are massive. Some people have suggested to make your own playbooks, but even still, you run into the same problem with the coach only suggesting certain plays over and over again. I really like a lot of the running back archetypes as well, like the elusive bruiser and east-west playmaker. I've also heard that contact seeker is cool too. So running back is my number 2 favorite position in Road to Glory. And the number 1 position for me in Road to Glory is the Mike, aka middle linebacker. I didn't care for this position in College Football 25 because of the zoomed in behind the defense camera. It also seemed like in last year's game, you were ID'd as the Mike 90% of the game, which meant you were either double teamed or sucked into crazy blocking animations that were hard to escape from. In this year's game though, it is a lot of fun. The angled, zoomed out, slightly camera angle works better for the Mike than it does for corner because it is more behind you and not to the side. You're not ID'd as the Mike nearly every play now, which is really cool, and that makes things a lot better for pass rushing. I like all 3 Mike archetypes. If you want to get more picks, be a lurker. If you want to disrupt running plays in the passing game, be a thumper. If you want to be a more balanced and traditional middle linebacker, then be a signal caller. You're also not completely limited by the archetypes. You can shape your Mike the way you want him to be no matter which archetype you pick. During my first Mike playthrough, I picked lurker because I wanted to get some picks, which was something I kind of struggled with playing middle linebacker in last year's game. So in addition to upgrading my pass coverage, I really worked on improving my pass rushing abilities as well. You can also play as an edge rusher in nickel and dime packages if you have a decent pass rush rating. So that's a cool touch for those wanting to play as an edge rusher since that position is not currently available to pick in Road to Glory. And there you have it, my ranking of the 5 Road to Glory positions in College Football 26. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do like this video, then make sure to hit that like button. More College Football 26 videos coming from your boy Azkhalon in the near future. Drop me a comment below. Let me know your thoughts. Do you agree with my ranking, or would you rank these positions differently? Drop me a comment below. Let me know your thoughts, and remember to remain courteous in the comments. If you're new around here, check out all of my content. In addition to College Football 26 videos, I play some other sports games from time to time. I got some indie horror game playthroughs on my channel, some other types of gaming videos, like some other ranking videos on my channel. So if you like the content, definitely hit that subscribe button. All right, I'm gonna get out of here. I will see you guys in another video, whatever video that may be. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. You could have been anywhere in the world playing College Football 26 Road to Glory yourself and trying out these different positions, but you chose to spend some time with your boy Azkhalon, and I greatly appreciate it. Y'all take care. Peace.